Aloha, my name is Solomon Kahivalo. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii, and the city I was born in is Palama Settlement. Most of the professors that are here today and some that passed away, such as Master Okazaki and Mitosi, these people grew up in the Palama Settlement area. The ones that are alive today and is pushing their system, they are professors and, to me, supreme grandmasters. Cedro Emperado, Wally J, Professor Kim, all of these people that I've known as a child. Today I'm 65. I bring my father's art, the art of Lua. My last name is Kahivalo. I bring the Kai, which is a C. The He is the C. Valu is 8. So I bring the 8C. But if I pronounce this as Ka Ihe Valu, I now bring the 8th spear of the Kahivalo family. The art of dislocation is the art of Lua. Lua, the ancient Hawaiian self-defense. My father always told me, in order to dislocate someone, one must learn how to peel the orange. In order to take one apart, one must learn how to take the flesh first, or the meat, before we get to the bone. Today, I bring some of my people. They took time off so that they can join me, so that I can share the gift that I bring to the United States. I am an American, but I'm first Hawaiian. But I bring and teach the Hawaiian ancient art to the non-Hawaiians. This was more or less to the Ali'i bloodline. I am from the Ali'i bloodline. But I was one of the first to go ahead and teach the non-Hawaiians the ancient art of Hawaii. So I bring my father's art, my mother's way of teaching me also, the chant, the mele chant. So today I'd like to share the gifts that my daddy gave me and also my mom. My name is Saul Kahivalo. Helimai, join me. I'd like to introduce my Lua Kumo. His name is Ron Burns Sr. He's going to demonstrate real slow with me. And what I want to do is show the pea, or the bear techniques. Normally a bear like to grab you and then, bring you in. But we're going to add a couple of punches to it. And I want to show you how I'm blocking and trying to hit this guy up at the same time, not knowing if he's going to tackle me. So right now he's going to set himself up, and as he throws the punch, I'm going to make sure I can rotate my body, but I'm going to throw a punch back. But I need to block him. So my forearm is going to lift as he stands up so I can make contact. As the second punch comes toward my face, I want to make sure I rotate my body as I swing my left hand. But notice my forearm is making a block so I can make contact. So now hopefully he doesn't do anything else after I made this contact. So after he follows to his next offensive move, he moves in. Now watch the tackle now. I want to make sure when I pop him, I'm going to pop him with the palm of my hand, but my fingers is going to go right into his eyes. I want to take the rest of my fingers and bite his ear, so I'm going to bite him like I would squeeze one of our fruits back home. So I'm going to squeeze him like so and lift him up. Now I have options going to my right, options to my left. I'll just take this man down. Once I take his eye out, which is called Makkah, and take his eye off, the Makkah situation, I have him just where I want him. I got his head up. The moment my thumb going to his eye, I'm going to bite him like I'm peeling an orange, and I'm going to drive him back. That leaves me an option from back this point, take him down with his leg, or throw my left elbow into his face. So now I'm going to demonstrate this a little bit faster against another instructor. This is my second instructor that's coming in. His name is Greg Shanner. He's going to throw his punch a little bit faster, and I'm going to throw my punches as fast as I can into him. Okay, ready? I want to make sure I got him in this position. Now I'm going to set him up. You okay? So as he's punching Alohi, I'm going to mostly rotate my body as a boxer. I'm going to throw my hand to block with my forearm and make contact. As he fires his second punch, I'm going to rotate my body, so hopefully I don't get hit. But again, I'm blocking with my forearm. Now, before I can relax, he reacts by making that tackle. I want to make sure my fingers is right in line with his ears, and my thumb is poking him right into the eye. I want to drive my thumb right into his eye socket and squeeze his back of his ear. As I drive him back, I want to make sure I can rotate his body right to my position since I'm in this area. I want to take this man down right in this area so I can put a lock on his on his elbow and see if I can break those fingers and his wrist, plus the elbow. I'd like to explain my next technique. It's called pickle. This is kicking from the ground up. Normally come out of the pig or the pawa. So what I want to do is go ahead and bring another instructor up. His name is Peter. He's helping us for one of my halal schools. So what we're going to do is do a demonstration of a kick. It's called pickle. It's coming from the ground. So I'm going to cover myself up. I'm going to do it slow. I want to hold his leg so that I see where I got him stretched out. I'm going to bring him toward my right as I change step. We call it lowly step. Want to drive a kick, throw my chop. My chop, the Hawaiian chop is from the wrist. This is from the dolphin, the tail of the dolphin. So I'm throwing my bone wrist into him. As I set him up, I want to bring my left hand over to his right shoulder and set him up so I can throw my right punch. But I'm directing my punch right clear in the back of his head so that I can turn his face like this. So I'm setting him up with a choke. So I want to grab my left hand, put it on his head, grab the side of his chest and bite him down like a shark would. We call manu, and use my right elbow to bring his chest in. Use my left hand to push his head up. I want to get his waist or his center part and move him forward. As I take my elbow, bend his chest in, my left hand, push his head out. So we'll do this a little bit faster now as he drives his kicks into me. This is Greg Shannon. He's going to demonstrate with me called the Polynesian, the butterfly. What I'm going to try to do is come in and try to do a double block on this man and try to bite him with my hands. Now, from that time on, I will set him down as I take this man down. We're going to do this in slow speed first. And again, it's coming off with a double punch. If you guys notice, I want to make sure I make contact with this guy's face. I'm going to move in and cover up. I want to get under his armpit. I'm going to bite to make sure I got him lifting up. Soon I got this set up, I'm looking to my right side as I bring him over and set him up. I want to check this hand up as I push him down to the ground. I want to make sure I got his locked up in this area. To have his elbow locked and see if I can take his fingers and hopefully I can dislocate their fingers. Okay, we're going to do this with another speed. Again, we're doing the Polynesian. This is Pete, my instructor. He's going to help me out on this. What we're going to do is called umi. Umi means to come in and make a double choke or a single hand choke. He's going to fire a couple of punches. My job is to get in on him and to set up this choke. We're going to do this in slow motion. So I'm set up and he fires his punch. And again, I'm going to make a double block. But I want to move in and check, pull him down to my level. That will set me up with my right hand hooking his face away from me and setting my left hand on top. I'm going to squeeze any part of my hands. My right elbow is going to run away from my left. Now we're going to do it with another speed. The next technique I'm going to do, we're going to do it slow. It's called mana mana lima. This is the fingertips or any part of the 5 or 10 fingers that I can grab hold of. And this is will come off from my grab. So he's grabbing me in slow motion. He's going to grab me. I normally will fall back so I can get him off balance. When that happens, I'm going to reach over with my left elbow shooting down, bringing his side up. My right hand going to grab on the bottom. My left hand becomes a back knuckle toward his face. So I got him set up like this. Now I got an option to go to my right or to my left. I decide to go 3/4, so I got his elbow, my knee against his back, bent like so I can break his wrist and his elbow. Now I'll go with another speed. Here's another technique I want to do. I'm going to do this in slow motion. It's called Hiku, or throwing from my right side or my left side. Depends how this guy is grabbing me. So as he makes a grab, I'm eyeballing which part of his elbow are bent for me to throw. So I decide to go to my left side by moving toward my left and using my right hand to come over and throw this guy. So what I want to do is make sure I can grab hold of his wrist and hold control. I want to do an inward block and shuffle step in front of him and hug him like I love this guy and throw him over, but I want to keep control of his arm so that I got his fingers through me so that I can show a break. Okay, now we're going to go with another speed. Here's another technique we call Makapoho. This is the Hawaiian weapons or ancient weapons. So we're going to do a never, a club attack coming from a side swing. So what I want to do is change step. As I change step, I want to have an open hand so I can control this grab and slam my heel of my hand up to his head. I'm going to turn and keep an eye on his club as I turn his wrist over so I can follow through. As I follow through, I want to get back under him and change step so hopefully I can dislocate that elbow. I want to check him as I take him down with my left, bringing the weapon up, hitting my side of his rib area, and striking him right in the side of his face, including his elbow. Now we're going to do this a little bit faster. Another weapon, Makapoho weapon, called the pahi, the knife attack. What I want to show you in this attack is to make sure I go to my left. I need to trap him with my right and my left hand. Right hand first, then my left. If he's going through, I want to follow through. If he don't go through, I want to trap his hand and bring his elbow and his wrist toward his throat, make my first cut. It's the second cut I'm looking for. I'm not going to add the second cut. I want him to fall into my knife. From there, I take the weapon off and we try this. So I do this in slow speed. As he's coming, I want to parry, check my hand, make the control grab. I'm going to pivot to my left. I'll be changing my leg movement. Here's my first cut. Now I'm going to drive his elbow down to the ground. Here's my second cut. Hopefully I can get the weapon out of him and make my third slicing all the way through. And finish the job. We'll go a little bit faster. The long bow is called ko'oko'o loa. The short bow is called ko'oko'o pokole. So what I'm going to do is bring an instructor in to attack me. His name is Greg Shenner. I'm going to do this in slow speed. As he comes down, I want to bust that fingers. I want to dislocate the fingers if I can with my ko'oko'o or my bow. I'm going to set me up to strike him right in the ear. I'm pulling my weapon back like I'm going fishing and hook his hand up. I want to pivot to my left and strike his bow right into his face. Then I'm going to follow down for his tendons and make my strike. Now I'm going to pivot him and go fishing again. Do this with another speed. I'm going to do this technique real slow. This is called ko'oko'o pokole. It's a short bow. You can do it with a short bow or a long bow. The idea is to cross punch him to make sure you stay on this man's knuckle, the first knuckle that is holding his staff. So as he's coming down, I want to stay loose. Now watch my right hand is making its contact, now my left hand. Now I'm going to distribute my hand over because now I see the right side has a longer wood and shorter wood on the left. So I'm going to go to my right. As I go to my right, I'm going to set him up for a parallel shot so I can go right into him, and I'm pulling his right hand to me to shorten his left hand out. At the same time, I'm going to yank him down to the ground and pull a weapon out. But look at my right side, I'm making my strike. As I make my strike, I'm going to back up and strike him on the face and in the groin area. Okay, back up again. I'm going to do this again, a little bit faster, to show my contact techniques on a short bow. Ready? Up, flip, up, up. I go into an eye lima, technique of both hands coming in, attacking this man, and he's attacking me, vice versa. So what I need to do is to feel out which hand is going to stick out and leave him out for a few seconds so that I can make my choice of grabbing him. So we're going to do this in slow motion. Not figuring out what is right-handed, now he becomes a left-handed fighter. I want to make sure I pick this up. Now my right hand will circle underneath, holding my left hand so I can trap that hand. I'm going to twist his elbow down, but I want to drive him straight to the ground and not away from me. This will set me up with a 3/4 turn. What I want to do is try to see if I can dislocate the shoulder, his elbow, and his wrist, hopefully up at the same time. Do this a little bit faster. I want to make sure I grab and take him out, hold him in place. I want to drag him down. I want to do another set we call polynesian, or the butterfly. This time I'm going to bite with my hand as I double block this man. So I'm going to do this in slow motion. Again, it's coming off a double punch. I'm going to move him with my right side, changing step, busting him in the face as I bring him down. Notice I'm biting his skin already. And I'm bringing him toward my body, using my forearm and elbow to stretch him out. I'm trying to rip that skin off. Go with another speed. Another technique. Hand technique, eye lima. I want to do a kicking, or called pickle. So my instructor will throw his kick toward my stomach, and I want to demonstrate this slow. Yep, I'm going to tighten up my stomach. I'm going to move his leg slightly to my left. As I move in, I want to jab him right in the face, knocking him down. Just before he gets to the ground, I want to turn him over so that I can walk him over and sit on him. I want to grab his face and turn his face from his cheek inside all the way out. Got that? Okay, now we're going to do this just a little bit faster. This is a simple technique. It's called Eye of the Makkah. In other words, figure 4. He's going to fire 2 punches. I'm going to relax myself. As he fires, I'm going to close the gap as I move in. Now I got him set up for the figure 4. Either toward his left or my right. In this case, I'm going to lowly step, change step, and set him up. But I want to draw him with a straight line so I am in position. So my pressure on my left hand is biting. My pressure on my right hand is turning his hand in so I can bite and push him down. Now I do it a little bit faster. One more technique. Freehand technique. Eye lima. It's called a iho. What I'm going to do is double block this man as he drives through and want to catch one hand that sticks out just a little bit longer. As he pairs off with me, we do this slow motion. I want to drive the punch, drive another punch. I want to set up my grab, but turn his elbow over as I shuffle inside, throw my hand right to his chest and up to his throat area. I want to strike my elbow right in his collarbone, but bring him to my left. I need to set him up so I can control the break with the wrist and his elbow. I want to bite his belly button. I'm going to do this with a little bit different speed now. As you're coming through again. I'd like to explain the ancient Hawaiian pahoa, Makapoho. From my right side, it's called the never, or the club side. From the center to my left, it's called the pahi, or the knife, or ihe, or the long or shallow spear. The rope is called ka'ane. So what I'm doing now is doing 3 techniques on one motion. I want to do this slow with Ron Burns coming after me. This is my instructor from Orange County. I want to demonstrate the thrust of the knife as he's coming forward. I'm going to demonstrate slow. As he's coming in, I'm going to pivot to my left, not to redirect the knife too much, but I want to slam my pahoa to break his knuckles. As I'm doing that, I will follow up to open up enough window so I can penetrate the side of his rib area. I'm going to move out and pull that flesh out. And I'm going to drive a kick, come in and smash him across his temple, but I want to bring him in and hold him tight for a choke. I'm going to wipe his chest so the rope is automatic, it's under him. So now I got a choke, and I also got a stab in the back. So as the man goes down for me, I'm setting him up with a choke and with a stab. Change the speed a little bit. As the men come in, another technique in the Hawaiian ancient lure. It's called ka'ane, the strangling cord. You know that there's a double cord on this end, and there's a wood at the end. Normally I use this to punch with or poke the guy in the eye. This double cord is one on his throat and one into his eye. If I make a mistake, I'm going to strangle both sides. His eyes, his mouth, and his throat all at the same time. As the man comes toward me in the pahi, as he's stepping forward, I want to make sure I parry check him with my left hand. I'm checking him right in this area with my eyeball, but I know exactly where to hit. My left hand will go up and try to turn his arm. So when I punch, I want to turn his head away from me. I'm going to bring in him and do a heavy hug on him. My elbow will come over and my hand on the ground to make sure I got the rope. Notice my left hand is punching. My right hand is choking. As he come in, another ancient weapon of Hawaii. The Makapoho. Maka means eye, so it's a double weapon in the eye. During the old days, 16th, 17th century, they used this for the eye. This is called the pahi or the ihe side, the spear side. This whole side of this is called a club or never. Again, you notice the kani is a little bit longer on this weapon. This weapon weighs about 1.5 pounds, so it's pretty heavy when I come down on this guy. I want to demonstrate against the pahi coming with Greg Schenner. As you come in, I want to double check. Here's my key to break that hand. I'm going to trap his hand and hold my lock in this position. I'm going to bring him down to the ground. As I bring him down, I'm going to sit down, grab his hair, bring him up, as well as the Makkah I'm talking about. Up, up, up. Another weapon, Makapoho. It's called a traveling tool, or hoe, or Polynesian paddle. The Hawaiians used this during the 16th and the late 17th and early 1800s. This type of brand. So what I'm going to do is do a strike bow, just like a regular staff, as you're coming down. Again, I want to block that knuckle so that I can release some of these people that are holding this hand. I'm going to pivot my left leg only, but chop him right in the ear. I'm setting up where I'm going to bring my weapon across. So as I go across, I want to bring my weapon over his head and bring him toward me. I want to bring him on my right side, would be my backhand side. This way I can stay close to him and bring him right across, make the check. This will show me where his throat is at. A little bit faster. Again, I'm going to try to see if I can take the man's knuckle out. This will cancel the whole technique. Lay him on the weapon, Makapoho from Hawaii. Notice the teeth, the way it's shaped, the sharp teeth. If it's 12, we divide this by 6. If it's 24, we divide this by 12. That means 12 will be facing east and the other 12 facing west. So then when the old Hawaiians, when they make their cut, or the Koas, or the warriors, they fillet with one stroke. So then that means they're cutting twice with one motion. Notice on this here, we have a spear at the end. Again, this is a pahi. Now look at my cord. It's longer than the normal cord. So this way I can learn how to swing this weapon around my head. Something like a nunchaku. Get back to the teeth. Notice the way we sew this in. Want to make sure when we sew this in, it's connected to the bottom of the shark teeth so we can hold the bottom up there. So as I come in to pound him, I will use the flat end, my blocking side, to knock his weapon off. I do this in slow motion. I'm making a check block. I'm slamming him right on top of his wrist. I'm coming up to fillet him from his chest up to his neck. I'm going to whip his hand over with my fingers. My right hand will come in as I come over to make my cut. My left hand and my weapon will bring him in my position so I can set him up. The rest is this or this. In a festo mode, as you're coming in, up, tap, stop, up, down, step, up, stop. Makapoho. This is called a duster. This is what the English people call them. It's called kueke, or the elbow of a human body. Notice there's the pahi at the end, and again the blades or the shark teeth is pointing, and is divided in half, east and west. This is all called a punching or an elbow weapon. I want to show this as the knife is coming toward Olohi, and I do this slow. So when he's coming, my left hand is always going to check. But watch when I cut. I'm going to cut from up, down. Now when I come in, I want to use my wrist bone to see if I can sting him on his elbow. But look at my point, it's toward his eye. As he goes up, I'm going to lift up, get on the bottom, and come through with my weapon. As he is going down, I'm going to follow up and keep him in this area. Now I'm going to sit down to make sure he doesn't get up. Okay, a little bit faster. Ku ekue, lay him on the weapon. As he's coming in, ihe, spear. Notice my prongs. I got 8 heavy prongs on his. My last name is Kaihivalu, the 8 spear. But I got the main 8 prongs on here. The old Hawaiians used to stab if they're fighting in a war, and make sure when they make a good contact on the human body, they turn the weapon over and they bring the weapon back out. So that everything is inside of the body of the human being, they want to drag everything back out. So I'm going to show a technique similar to a hoi. As the German here comes forward, after me with a short step, or short pakoli stick, I want to bust that fingers of his. And I'm going to ram my 8 prongs right on his ear. And I want to bring that prongs back to me. As I come forward, I want to slam his hand and his face by wiping this pedal down. So as I come forward, I want to give me a strong spear. I want to make sure I set up so that when I spear, I got my long 9-foot spear directly toward his face or his throat. A little bit quicker now.